Hey guys, starting out in this video, I'm going to show you two resources that you can use that may help you out in flipping cards. This first one, which is brought to you by Reddit user Crooksy, who posted this for the Reddit guys, thought it might be of use to you guys as well. So for this spreadsheet, everything up here that's in green is automatically kept track of, and I guess the red too. The blue is stuff that you can put in case you were interested in seeing extra information, such as your stats on a particular card, or seeing how much you should sell a card for to break even, which is pretty much having no profit. So you should try to aim for something higher than this price if you bought it for $107,000, or how much profit you want to make if you wanted to sell that card. Down here you can see how much tax is being taken away from you if you sell it for a certain price. And then even further down, these are all your transactions. This is the stuff that you're going to be putting in manually, just the player or item name, how much you bought it for, and how much you sold it for. And then you can see if you're doing a good enough job. You can see your best transactions. So what you want to do is either copy and paste this in Excel with the formulas, or if you have a Google account, you just want to use Google Docs, just go to File, make a copy, and then when it makes a copy, you can just delete all of these transactions and just put in your own. Alright, so next I'm going to show you guys my spreadsheet that I created, where I'm showing you the prices of all of the cards that I find, I guess, flippable on a particular day. In this case, it's going to be September 19th. I'm going to try to update this every day when I'm flipping cards. So you'll see you have the common cards. For people who don't have that much coins, you can probably flip these guys pretty easily. Same goes for rares under 5,000. And you have 5 to 10,000 cards, 10 to 30,000, and 30,000 plus worth of cards. Down here, if we're dealing with other type of player cards, I'll include those here, such as Legends and Hut Heroes. Maybe I'll also include like Team of the Week, Player of the Game, or Player of the Game doesn't exist, Milestone, or some other kind of stuff. And then collectibles at the bottom. And hopefully you guys can use this kind of as a reference to understand the prices of these cards, kind of memorize them, and just know that when you're trying to buy these cards to flip them, you're going for a value much less than these prices. So if I find a Marner for 7K, probably not good enough. You want to go even less than that, to maybe like 6K, so that it's a good enough deal for you to actually make some coins off of it. But hopefully this helps you guys out. And again, link is in the description of the video, which you guys can use for yourselves. Alright, so back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. You guys remember my adventure with silver goalies last week. I find this silver goalie that doesn't have a buy now price. Guy just puts it up for 50 starting price, so I'm thinking he doesn't know the price for it. So I'm going to send him a Barkov who at most goes for like 3, 4, maybe 5K. But I know that I can sell the silver goalie for 15K. And he ends up accepting my trade offer. Fleeced! I'm not the one who got fleeced. He's the one who got fleeced. Or maybe we both came away happy campers. I don't know. Either way, I flipped that silver goalie a few times throughout the week. I ended up with like 90K coins just from doing that. Here I do it again, this time trading away Mike Hoffman. But in this episode, I'm going to be the janitor. I'm going to clean up after myself because there's a lot of things that I still didn't go over from the first episode that, well, I should probably put in this episode. I couldn't make that episode like an hour long. That would be crazy. So someone brought up this question in my comments, and it's the first question that I'm going to answer for this episode. And they were wondering why I ended all of my like starting prices and buy now prices with a 9. The reason for that is it's a little marketing trick that pretty much everyone in the real world uses. You use it every time you buy a video game, where people will tell you that the price of the video game is like $59.99 or $69.99, and that 1 penny being off makes you believe that you're actually paying $10 less. So $59.99, you think, oh, that's $50. Obviously, if you're used to it, you're like, oh yeah, $59.99, that's obviously $60. But a lot of people, they don't think that way. It's worse when you're getting rid of a digit, so it turns into like a 3-digit number like $9.99. But it just makes your cards more eye-popping. Last week we were talking about buying cards between like 1K and the amount of coins that you have. That's fine at first when there isn't a huge assortment of cards. But if you're still struggling to flip cards, maybe you just need to look at less cards so that the chances of you finding a card that you can flip is a little bit higher. As I may have said before, the only time those cards actually refresh on your screen is when you push the right bumper and left bumper, R1 or L1, and new cards appear. The cards furthest to the right are the new cards. But when like 10 new cards appear, you can't possibly think that you're gonna snipe the first one on the left if you're coming in from the right looking at all the cards from the right. I usually just do the first 2 or 3, and if I don't see anything good, I just flip the pages again. So that's why if you had a smaller range of cards, you would be able to reach those cards on the left faster and easier. Try to get out of the habit of second guessing yourself. You should be able to know instantly whether or not you got a good deal. And so to do that, you just have to look at the spreadsheet and make sure that you are confident with knowing the prices in your head. The longer you take on deciding whether or not you want to buy a card, the higher the chances that that card's already bought. I did a lot early on, but again, now that I've gotten more comfortable with the prices, it's kind of just quick snipes. Now we're going to enter uncharted territory with these collectibles. In particular, the Team of the Week, the Milestone, Prime Time, which a lot of people think is the player of the game. Maybe it was the other one. But right now, these special collectibles, they don't have a use. And if you were to go over to the auction house, there are a lot of them being thrown out there for pennies. Okay, maybe like 2,000 to 3,000 coins. And outside of the collectibles that are being used for a limited time, collectibles like that, they don't stay that cheap. So if you invest in them now, they should be worth more in the future. I imagine these sets will be something like trade in 3 of these collectibles for a Team of the Week player on that particular week. And if the prices of these collectibles don't go up, you can always just use them yourself. Don't invest all of your money into these collectibles, but I definitely think you should check them out and throw a little bit their way so that maybe if they go up to like 10K, you can unload on them and get 4 times your money back. It's a different type of investing because you're banking on the fact that the price of those cards are going to go up in the future. So you're just holding on to them until they do. With all the hype around the 59th minute, it seems a lot of people have forgotten that you could still try to bid on auctions and hope that you end up winning them. Make sure it's cheap though. So I do this with Yossi for about 20K. Someone bet 20K on him. I go a little bit higher and I end up winning him and selling him for like 27K. Last year I introduced the concept of the bidding illusion. So what I'm doing here is I'm going in and out of my bids to make sure that I don't get outbid, and if I do, then I just place another bid higher, and you just keep doing that. Unfortunately, that's how you have to do it with this auction house. That's how it refreshes. But if you get into a bid war with someone where they just keep outbidding you, what you can do is you can outbid yourself a few times by 50 coins to make the other person believe that there's a third person involved, and it discourages them from bidding anymore just because it's going to take longer. Chances are that the price is going to be higher than what they want, and you can win a lot of auctions that way, and even more just by bidding on auctions that are about to expire. Remember, a lot of those people have lives, so they probably want to get back to them. They don't want to spend 10 minutes trying to outbid you. Finally, I did this a lot last year, but what you can do is look at very specific cards. In this case, I chose Ristolainen, and instead of looking at just the 1 hour mark, you look at the 3 hour mark, the 6 hour mark, the 12 hour mark, 24 hour mark, and the 3-day mark, because that's where people are going to put up cards at those times. While everyone's focused on the 1 hour mark, you can focus on every other time. You can try to look at all cards at those different times, but I always just find flipping back and forth between the pages so boring. I would prefer just searching a bunch of different cards to see if I can find a deal, because this is going to be the easiest way to check the price of the card versus the card that you're trying to buy. So the last thing that I want to mention is I want to try something new this year in terms of my series where I compile the clips of the week. So if you guys want to get in on it, all I want you to do is send me some clips of you guys getting some insane snipes on the auction house. Make sure you get the snipe first and then record it. Don't record it before you get the snipe because chances are it'll be bought. And send it over to brianstormed@hotmail.com or link me a video in the comments. Or link me on Twitter. Or hand deliver it to my house. I don't know. You figure it out.